Hello there, welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. I know you're not watching this on Halloween, but today is Friday, October 31st. And I don't know about you, but I feel like Friday is the best day for Halloween to fall on. It's fun. And then you celebrate Friday night, you go into the weekend, it's perfect.
And the winner of the Costume Celebration Spectacular.
Now, in my last vlog, I said I wasn't gonna vlog the rest of the week, and here we are vlogging. But I am happy to report that I am feeling better. It has taken a lot of really late nights this week, so I'm a little short on sleep, but I finally was able to get through all of the things that I felt like were piling up, and as a result, I feel a big sense of relief. And so I want to document it because, again, going back to the last vlog, I knew there would come a time when I would feel better. Now, I think the overwhelm is probably going to come again next week, but this is a good reminder that it's temporary and you will have times when you feel better. And today there's a lot of fun stuff happening. Because it is Halloween, we are doing our annual Storybook Character Parade. It is one of my other team teachers' birthdays tomorrow, so we are celebrating her today. And today is the last day before my team teacher comes back from maternity leave. I am so excited, so ready. But she's actually gonna be here today to celebrate my team teacher's birthday, and we're putting together a little gift basket for her, like a welcome back basket. I'm not gonna put it out until after school today, that way it's there for her on Monday, but I'm gonna show you everything that I'm putting inside. So let's get the day started. So as I mentioned, today is Halloween. I'm wearing my Sanderson Sisters Brewing Co. sweatshirt, Hocus Pocus if you're not aware, but I think I got it from Etsy or something. If I can still find the listing, I will link it for you. However, the sweatshirt is gonna be coming off because we have our Storybook Character Parade first thing this morning at 8 a.m. Basically, students are encouraged to dress up as their favorite book character. So they choose a book, they're supposed to carry the book with them or have some kind of a poster or something that says their book. They dress as that character, and we do a parade so that the students can all see each other. We also invite families to come so they can see everyone. Last year, we actually had to keep it all indoors, I think due to weather, maybe it rained or something. This year, part of it, we go through the halls, but then we go outside, that's where the parents are, and then we will end up coming back to our classroom. So if you remember from last year, nothing has changed. The fourth grade team dresses up as characters from Holes because that is one of the books that we read aloud to fourth graders at the beginning of the year. And so of course the students all get the references. A lot of my team teachers dress up as, Zero and Stanley and some of the other kids from Camp Green Lake, and then one of my team teachers is gonna be the warden, and then I am the yellow spotted lizard, which I volunteered myself for last year. I bought this, I think it's technically like a raptor costume because believe it or not, they don't make yellow spotted lizard costumes, but it's, good enough. I will insert a picture of me in it. I'm not putting it on now because it's a little warm in my room this morning, actually. I got cold yesterday, so I bumped my thermostat up and I forgot to bump it back down. But I will be changing into this for the Storybook Character Parade. I do need to get the book. I know I have one in my classroom library. Hopefully a kid doesn't have it. Also at the bottom of this is a blanket. I had gotten the blanket to look like sand for our trunk or treat, which was last Friday, a week ago, and we ended up not using it. We used a tarp instead. I don't know where I was going with that thought, y'all. It is still Friday, and again, it's been a very long week, so bear with me. In addition to Storybook Character Parade, we also have our real young ones, like the pre-Kers. They go around trick-or-treating, and it's a way for them to practice their communication skills, greeting people, saying trick or treat, please, thank you, things like that. So I have just some little mini bags of candy corn. That's upside down. These are actually leftover from yesterday. So almost every day before I leave, I set up my morning slide for the next day, which I will show you what it looks like for today. And one of the things I typically do is I search the national day. And yesterday, October 30th, was National Candy Corn Day. And so of course, when I left school yesterday, or the day before, Wednesday, I said, I need to go get some candy corn for my students. And it's funny because some of them had never had candy corn. They're like, yeah, I've seen it, I've just never tried it. So I got these little individual baggies of those for my students, and I was like, perfect. I can use the leftovers for the little trick-or-treaters that come around. And then in my closet, I found this cauldron that I've had for years and years, so I just stuffed them in there. And then when I pulled that out, I also found this little spider garland type thing that I just had stuffed in my container in my closet. So I pulled that out and I just kind of hung it across the board. I was trying to do it like across the top, but it wasn't long enough. So I basically just looped it through that cord and then just taped it with some good old painter's tape on the other side. So nothing fancy. And then I kind of told myself, oh, I can like have my lights be orange, but then I looked through the lights and there were no orange options. This is like a yellow and that was the closest I could get. So that's what we're going with. And then I was thinking these lights, right now I have them on rainbow, but I feel like, okay, that's white. And then trying to think like, what do I hit? Mode? Oh, nope, that's still rainbow. I think there is a way to choose like singular colors. Maybe not. Oh, nope, rainbow. Okay, I'm gonna play around with it, see what I can find. Okay, I figured it out. If I click the little book, it makes them white, and then from there, I can click the M to make it colored, and then I can click the forward button to go through the colors. Let's see, green, blue, purpley, pink, yellow, blue, red, okay. That's probably gonna be the closest we get to orange. And then I think I mentioned in my last vlog that we did get new overhead lights and they are dimmable. So I think I'm just gonna dim them and it's gonna be nice and kind of darker in my room. Some of my team teachers actually keep them like dimmed down all the time. I keep mine up, and so it'll be a nice change of pace to have it dim in here. And then I mentioned my slides. First of all, I love to have within my daily slides, one slide with a bunch of different videos inserted from YouTube. These are all like background instrumental type videos. So basically during work, I will just play one of these, for example, and I will have that going on in the background. And so I love having one slide with just a bunch of different options. And if it's like, oh, we want Disney jazz, then I can click on that one and play it. So little hack for you, if you've never tried this, definitely recommend. I will just search like fall classroom instrumental or fall classroom background information, and they come up. And some of them, if I want them to be like a full screen, basically almost like a little video backdrop, I can. So for example, this one's like a bluey. I can go full screen, and let me mute it real quick. So once it gets going, it's just kind of him like studying, and I can have that displayed in the background. But I will say most of the time, I end up having like an actual slide with directions. So sometimes I will actually put these up in the top. So like here, this is the one that's gonna play when my students come in this morning. And I just put it real small in the corner of the screen. That way when I go into full screen mode, when I'm ready, I can just click play and it will play the music. So I think this one was like kind of background, spooky kind of sounds. Let me see. There we go, okay. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. Let me go ahead and pause that. Okay, so this is my morning slide that will be up when my students come in, and all I did was change the background to orange, and then I changed some of the highlighted items. I make them all like different colors just to bring their attention to it, but I have them like orange and yellow. That's all that I did. And then this is actually a like sticker. So Google has actually added this as an option, so you can go to Insert, Image, and then choose Stock and Web. And from here you can search. So I just search like Halloween, and then it will pull up stock images, GIFs or GIFs, and then stickers. So basically, most of the stickers are gonna be animated just like a GIF or GIF, but they're gonna have a transparent background. So when you insert it like this, there's no white space behind it. So that's how I inserted that on the slide, but I have just some general reminders for them. And then right after this is my like morning meeting slide. And this is where I click and I go to the morning announcements. We do our lunch count. You'll notice I did let them know my favorite candies. So if they feel so inclined as to bring me candy from Halloween and trick-or-treating, they know what to bring me. So Reese's, of course, Twix, and then peanut butter M&Ms. I'm stocked up right now on Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish, so I did not include those. But I am going over the typical schedule changes, homework. You know, Fridays they have free seat choice in the cafeteria. We'll do iReady prizes. And then I told them to work on their All About Me page for the book, which is something for my team teacher, but we will come back to that. Then going through instruction today. So I actually built it into our scope and sequence for today to kind of be a flex day for math and science, because I knew it would be a crazy day. So rather than trying to like get through certain things curriculum-wise, I kind of condensed some of the lessons earlier in the week to allow for today to just kind of be some fun stuff. That way, if things get super hectic and we don't finish things, it's not a big deal. So I always tell my students what they need for class. The spiral review, typically we have like 3 spiral review problems we do throughout the week, and then we have 2 kind of extra days. And for those extra days, I pull something from like their homework or from a class assignment that I notice everyone struggled with, and we talk about it as a class. So this was a recent homework question. Then I mentioned this in my prior vlog, but we are implementing some new fact fluency activities for multiplication. So I'm giving them 5 minutes to go on their fluency flight, which is basically fluency practice on iReady. This is one of my timer videos, which I have available in my TPT store. This is technically a 5-minute timer, but when I click play, when we do our time test, it's for 3 minutes. I actually set the video to just start at the 3-minute mark. So when I hit play, it will start right at 3 minutes. And I do that just by adjusting the video so it starts playing 2 minutes in. Just a little tip for you. We do have a sprint that we're gonna do in our practice books. So they get 1 minute to do the first page. And again, I have just inserted that video timer. And then once that goes off, we go over it and they have a minute to do the other side, and their goal is to beat their score. Because today is a flex day, I just kind of made up an application problem. I made it kind of trick-or-treating related. And then, all right, let me go ahead and mute it. There we go. So we're doing a Who Done It. Now, basically, this is like students are answering problems to get clues, and they're trying to figure out who stole the kids' Halloween candy. This is something I got on TPT. I've done these with my class before, not this year, but I've done them in years prior, and they're fantastic. I'm gonna show you the cards around the room, but this is how I set it up for my students. So I gave them kind of the scenario, and I just inserted like images and stuff in the background. And then this is what it actually looks like. So this is the recording sheet, and this is what like the printed version looks like. But as they solve the cards around the room, which I will show you in just a second, they can go in any order they want. Based on the answer that they get, it tells them which clue they need to follow, because each card has 3 different clues, and they will read that clue and then put an X next to the eliminated suspect. So this is an example of one of the cards around the room. So they will solve 944 divided by 8. If the answer was 117, it says the only song played at the party was Monster Mash. So that means they can cross out any other songs that are not Monster Mash. If the answer is 108, bobbing for apples happened after the candy had already been stolen, so they can cross off some of the other options. Let me grab the recording sheet because this will make more sense. Okay, so here is the recording sheet. I will link this, by the way. The answer to this one is 118. So the moon that night was a crescent moon. So then we look over here, and they're gonna look through the different, options. Oh, when the full moon came out. Well, it wasn't a full moon, it was a crescent moon. So they can cross that off, and they know that it didn't happen when the full moon came out. So for each card, they're gonna be able to eliminate one of the choices until they're left with 1 suspect, 1 option for when they did it, and 1 place for where they hid it. Then as students finish with the whodunit, I just have a color by code, something nice and chill. They're just gonna solve the different problems, and then that will tell them what color to do based on the answer that they get. The colors are written down at the bottom. Then I have a slide where I just list out like, okay, here's what you're doing, the whodunit with the cards around the room, turn it in, do the color by code. If there's still time, you're gonna work on iReady. This is a blank spot to be able to put my timer on the board, because our interactive flat panels that we use, there's like a built-in timer and you can put it up on the board. And then again, I've already put the little slide with the music. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this one is like a general kind of Halloween-y type music, but it's all like clean songs that are allowed to be played with students. Then for science, we're gonna do some mystery science mini lessons. I used to do these in the mornings with my students, but we have not had time like ever because our morning meeting time is a little shorter this year than last year. So mystery science, if it's your first time signing up, you can actually get like a year free. I used up my free year last year, so I don't have the actual subscription to mystery science, but everyone has access to their most recent mini lessons for free. So if you go to the Mystery Science website, it's gonna show you the current Mystery Science mini lesson for the week. So this one is, Are Vampires Real? But if you click on mini lessons, usually you can also do like the prior one to that. Yeah, so if you scroll down, I can also do what makes some candy so sour, and then what would happen if you didn't have a skull. You'll notice these other ones have the locks on them. Those are only available with the subscription. So there are 3 different options that I can do with them today. I'll probably let them pick, but typically you'll notice it starts off with a video. So this is like 1:14, and they feature like a student who asks the question. Then they go through some of the science behind like answering it. There are discussion questions along the way. And then you'll notice like this has about a 5-minute video where they go through kind of, okay, here's the actual answer to the question. And then they typically have these bonuses. And so for this one, it's top 5 strangest zombie, quote unquote, animals. And you click through and it will show you different like pictures and videos of them with some facts. And this is a possum like suddenly freezing. And actually I saw a really funny video of a possum getting candy out of someone's house on like Halloween night. And then something jumped out at it and it like played dead. So having these types of discussions, these real world connections, which I really, really love. And then they do get to vote on the mystery science question for the next week. So these are a lot of fun. I will link the mystery science website for you down below. I would be willing to pay for this, but unfortunately it's only available as like a school or a district subscription. You're not able to subscribe as just a singular teacher. I really wish Mystery Science would change that and offer it, because I would pay out of pocket because I love their resources so much. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, today is the last day with the long-term subs because we've had 4 different subs for my team teacher on maternity leave. She comes back on Monday. It's been a long couple of months, y'all. I will say, just in general, I think it was harder than I anticipated. But I think that's because she had her baby early and it kind of made it a little bit harder at the beginning because things weren't quite ready. Plus, all the different shift of subs made it more challenging than it probably would have been or should have been. But we made it. We made it. Now, of course, you all know I love gift giving. It's my love language. And so I had to put together a little nifty gift basket for her. First, I got this garland. Now, I haven't opened it up yet, but I got it on Amazon. I will link everything that I can. Like, most of it came from Amazon, but there are a few things that I just got from like Target and whatnot. What's the best way to do this? Okay, there's 2 different banners. So one says, welcome back. I don't know where the end of this is. Oh, is it this? Okay, there we go. I do love when banners like this are pre-strung and you don't have to worry about it yourself. Okay, so this one says welcome, and it's just rainbow colors, kind of glittery, very, very cute. And then this one says back. I'm sure you can figure that one out. And I specifically chose this one because it has kind of a school look. And my thought was, this is really versatile and I can reuse it like during back to school season for like, you know, our howdy or something when students come to like see the classroom. This is the perfect kind of banner to display for that. So I got it for her, but then I can reuse it, which I love. This is backwards. Backwards. Okay. And then back, and it has little apples, really cute. So I'm gonna hang that up in her room. And then I am creating a book for her from my students. At the beginning of the week, Tuesday. I don't think I had it ready on Monday, but Tuesday, I gave each of them a paper to fill out. I just made this in Canva. I kind of started with a template. So the template had this like all about me in the corner, and then I personalized all of this. But I will link this for you. It basically is just things for students to fill out. So it has like my preferred name, here's what I look like, so they draw a picture of themselves, here's what you must know about me, what I like to read, because obviously she will teach them for reading, 3 things I love, something I'm really good at, and then my favorite thing about 4th grade. On the back is my teacher was out and had a baby. So I just tried to think of things I thought would be cute for them to fill in. So here's what I would have named the baby. Here's what I think the baby looks like. Things all babies love, just because I love to see their responses. Advice for my teacher, why I missed my teacher. Here's what I think the baby should wear. And how many diapers do you think your teacher changed while gone? So I made this in Canva. I will link it for you if you are interested. It's a customizable template, so you can go in and edit it however you would like. My students have been filling these out. I have a few students that still need to finish, but once I have all of them, I think I'm gonna use, down in the teacher's lounge, we have like one of those binding machines, so I think I'm gonna bind it. But worst come to worst, I can just hole punch and tie it together with some string. So I'm gonna make them all into a book. I made a little cover page. This is part of the Canva template that I'll share. I just kind of designed it to mirror like this page. But it just says, welcome back. We have been waiting to meet you. Here's a little about us and what we think about your new baby. So I printed this on cardstock, laminated it, and then this is just a plain page of blue cardstock laminated to be the back cover. So this will be on top, all of their pages underneath, and then this will be in the back. So this book is gonna go in the gift basket. Y'all know I love a good gift basket. First of all, the card that I got was from Amazon, and y'all, it's a joke. It's meant to be funny, but it just says, how dare you leave me here with these people? And so I wrote her a little message, and then I tried to fill this with things that I thought would be helpful for her as a mom. Now, she's not like a new mom. This is her 3rd kid, but obviously like having a baby, regardless of what number, like it's always kind of hard. So I put in here some pens. I got these from Amazon. It just says best mom ever pen set. So one says best mom ever, you're doing great, and then you got this mama. So I thought that those were cute, just some little kind of affirmations. And on the back it says stay motivated and inspired while you write down your dreams, ideas, and notes. I also got these motherhood affirmations. So these are just little cards and they have some like positive sayings on them. I thought that those were cute and they kind of like go together. This is a magnetic acrylic frame. So basically the 2 sides stick together with magnets. So you take it apart and then it's really easy to change out the picture. I printed a photo of her 3 kids together that she recently had done. Actually, the lady who has been in for the long-term subbing this week took photos. She does like photography on the side. And so I was texting her and I was like, hey, can I get one of those photos to put in a frame? So I'm gonna put that in there. That way she can have it by her desk. Then we have, I just thought these were funny. So these came from Amazon. They're sticky notes, but it's like a dumpster fire and it says everything is fine on it. I don't know, I just thought that they were adorable and I couldn't resist, and it's very fitting. So those are in there. And then we have some snackies. So she loves chocolate, so I put down here some like Ghirardelli chocolates. Then her favorite drink is Cherry Coke Zero. So I got some of those. I have like 2 of those sitting in here. She really loves the Lesser Evil popcorn. So I have 3 little mini bags of those. And then she loves cookies. So I put some of the Tate's Bake Shop chocolate chip cookies. So I'm just gonna kind of assemble this all together as a basket. And then after school, I'm gonna leave it in her room. Now I have promised myself I'm not gonna stay late after school today because tonight, Billy and I are celebrating that I made it through this very challenging, kind of rough start to the school year with some snackouterie, which is basically like charcuterie, but it's just a bunch of snacks. And considering it's Halloween, we're just gonna like watch a movie, maybe Hocus Pocus, maybe Halloween Town, I don't know, but we're gonna enjoy some snacks and chill out, and I am so looking forward to it. And then tomorrow we are heading to Lockhart for Barbecue Fest, and I have promised myself I'm not doing any schoolwork this weekend. I've done a lot of work this week. As I mentioned, it was a lot of late nights, and I did that to set myself up for success, and I do feel better, but I know like I need to take some time for me. So that's what I'm gonna do this weekend, and I'm excited about it. And hopefully this is a reminder to you that A, tough times are temporary. It does get better, I promise. B, sometimes you do have to just kind of stick it out, get the work done, but then C, make sure that you don't keep up with those habits. You have to stop and take time for yourself because you deserve it. And you are human and you can't do all of the things, and you can't keep pouring from an empty cup, as they always say, but truly, like, you have to take time to rejuvenate, replenish, refresh, and I hope that you're able to find some time to do that. I'm gonna do that, and I'm excited. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, even if this time of year they're sweatpants, and I will catch you in the next one.